Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Why Jesus. On today's show, we have Teena from New York, USA. Hi Teena, welcome to Why Jesus.
Hi Viji, thank you for having me here.
Teena, before we even shoot off with the show, can you tell us a little more about yourself, what you're presently doing, about your family?
I am from New York. I live with my parents and I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. I have 2 older sisters. I am currently an undergrad student going into my 3rd year of college to pursue occupational therapy.
Occupational therapy. We had another guest too who was pursuing occupational therapy. So what made you go in for occupational therapy, Teena?
Occupational therapy is where therapists help specialized people of all ages to lead to their independent lives due to their functional and physical disabilities. After my senior year of high school, you have to take a pre-professional courses depending on what major you want to do. Because I took some classes required for bachelor's in life science at Rockland Community College, I have 2 more years in order to get my bachelor's in life science. And then I have to continue my pursuit in occupational therapy, which the basic degree offered is a master's degree, which is 2 years.
Now, do you have any other occupational therapists in the family, Teena?
No, there is no one in my family who is an occupational therapist. 4 of my family members is in the medical field, but my dad. My sister and my mom is a nurse. My older sister is a pharmacist, and I decided to do occupational therapy because it's a hands-on profession and I like helping individuals.
Now, are you commuting or do you dorm?
I'm dorming because the college is an hour away from my house. I like to experience new things and do different things every day.
So you haven't dormed as of yet, Teena? Is this something that's coming up in the next academic year?
Yes, it's my first time, so I'm kind of nervous and hopefully everything goes well.
Did your sisters dorm at all or did they commute from home?
Yes, my older sister, she dormed for 6 years at Philadelphia, and my other sister commuted.
Did they have any pearls of wisdom to share?
They just said to enjoy it and study really well in my academic.
So you just graduated out from high school too. Teena, it's a known fact here in the US that, middle school and high school students face a lot of pressure academically, socially. What was your experience with high school?
High school was not that bad. There was some challenges I had to go through. There was good times and bad times. Bad times, there was academically, it was stressful. There were times where I had exams and papers due on the same day.
How did you deal with those stressful situations, Teena?
I prayed, I went to church every day, and I read the Bible.
You seem to be very spiritually involved, so how did you really get into the spiritual realm?
My parents, they brought me to church every day. They brought me to Sunday school and IDCF, which is a ministry I go every Saturday, which is called Interdenominated Christian Fellowship, led by Brother Dr. Mathews Vergis.
Now, was your relationship with spirituality just because of everything that your parents kind of got you into, like going to church and attending this ministry that you said? Or was there some point in your life that you kind of experienced that this was all for real?
At a young age, I felt like prayer was important in my life. I think it would help me move forward and help me do better.
Can you share some instances where prayer has really helped you in your life, Teena?
When I was in high school, during the final exam week, I took my global regions, and when I got my results back, I didn't do really well on it. I had to take it again over the summer. I was upset and depressed to the point where I couldn't take my chemistry exam the next day. I had to take the chemistry exam another day after school. When I asked my classmates after they took the chemistry exam, they said it was difficult. I prayed till I got my results back. The day I took the chemistry regions, I had so many other exams the same day, and it made me overwhelmed and stressed. Before I sat down to take the 3-hour exam, I had my fasting prayer card and Prophet Elijah, and I prayed what I prayed. When I'm nervous or scared, I would say the verse, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you," from Isaiah chapter 41, verses 10, which would help me calm down and get me through the whole test. With Jesus' help, I passed the exam and did better than the other students in my class. I did the same for my global regions, and I passed for that too. Another experience is when I ate a granola bar. I had an allergic reaction, and I had spots on my hands, and that day I went to a meeting for my ministry I told you about every Saturday that I go to, and I prayed to Brother Sayango, and he prayed for me, and I put a holy oil on my hand, which was prayed by Brother Dr. Mathews Vergis, and that night the spots went away.
Teena, you mentioned about a fasting prayer card and a Prophet Elijah card. Can you describe in detail what all that is about?
The ministry I told you about before has a fasting prayer that is held once in every 3 months. We all have a registration which the people who participate would have to wear, and these cards are specially blessed for and prayed for by Brother Dr. Mathews Vergis at the start of the fasting prayer. And as a child growing up, I have heard so many testimonies of people having experiences praying with these fasting prayer cards. I usually keep these fasting prayer cards in my wallet or under my pillow or before an exam. The Prophet Elijah card was given by Brother Dr. Mathews Vergis. Prophet Elijah is a prophet from the Old Testament, from the Bible. His name means, "My God is the Lord." He was sent to heaven alive on a chariots of fire and horses. He is a powerful prophet who was honored by Jesus.
Very interesting, Teena. Teena, now you sound so strong in your faith in Jesus, but has there been any time in your life that you felt disconnected from all the spirituality?
Yes, there are some times where I felt doubt that my prayers are not answered, but it did not stop me. I kept on praying and going to church and reading the Bible.
And that helped you overcome all those phases of doubt?
Yes.
Now, Teena, how does your faith affect the relationship that you have with others in your age group?
Kids my age are not really interested about spirituality. Even when I talk about it or bring up the spirituality or religious things, they tend to be discouraged or uneasiness.
Now, how do you deal with such situations?
I would just let it go. I would tell them more about it. I just won't stop
Now, have you been able to tell anybody in your age group or friend circle about Jesus or lead them to believe in Jesus from all the experiences that you've had?
Yes, I've told my friend. She is a Catholic, but she does not have an experience with Jesus. She was nervous for something she had to do. I told her to pray. Her mom told her to pray and read the Bible. She thought about it, but she wasn't convinced. Another experience is that the ministry I go to, we do an outreach through the activities in our ministry. Like we would have community fairs around the area where we live in, and we have stalls where we raise funds for some of our nonprofit organizations. And in such fairs, we actually stand out of the stalls and give tracts.
Now, have you ever had a bad experience when you've handed out these pamphlets or tried to share the message of Jesus to someone else, Teena?
Yes, there was one time when I was giving the tracts out, and I gave it to this lady, not knowing that she was a Jewish. She reacted in a hostile way by saying, "Would you like to come to my synagogue?" I was surprised that she said that to me. I didn't expect that response from her. I felt embarrassed and weird, but that didn't stop me from giving out more pamphlets. I kept on going because I know as long as I was doing something for Jesus, and I know that she may not, but somewhere somebody would take that track. The intent of this track ministry is started by Brother Dr. Mathews Vergis is not that every person converts after reading it, that maybe somewhere, somehow, somebody gets to read this, maybe not the person who we gave it to, but someone who could be touched by it or can make a difference in their life.
Teena, you did mention a lot about Bible reading earlier in our conversation. Can you tell me what the role of Bible reading is in your life?
Yes, the ministry I told you about that I go every Saturday has a children's ministry, which is called Interdenominational Children's Christian Fellowship, where children comes together and participate in the programs such as singing a song, reading a Bible, and telling a story about the Bible. And that's how led me to read the Bible every day. Before I go off to school, I would read Psalms 91, which helps me get through the day. Can I read it to you?
Absolutely.
Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Mighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of night, nor that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent, for He will command His angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy my salvation.
Teena, talking about your Christian faith, what would you say is the greatest character of Jesus or your faith in Jesus that draws you to Him?
The greatest aspect about knowing Jesus is that I know no matter what or hard the situation is, I know that Jesus has an answer for me and there's someone who I could turn to.
Is there any aspect about your faith that you are not very comfortable about, Teena?
No, there is not. I'm pretty confident about everything. That's very true.
Very nice to hear that. Do you have any person that you look up to or draw inspiration from in your spiritual walk with Jesus?
My parents are someone I look up to in my prayer life. They are the one who told me to go to church and always prayed for me when I am in difficult situation and always kept me in my prayers. Also, my grandma, she is in my prayer life as well, who I look up to. She is the one who taught me and my siblings our first prayers.
That's very nice of your grandma. Not everybody is very fortunate to have their grandmas around. Was she the one who brought you up while you were little here in the U.S.?
Yeah, she was with us for a couple of years with my family.
Now, Teena, what do you do in your pastime? What do you do to just relax and chill out?
I spend time with my family and friends watching movies or going to the mall. Recently, we went to Punta Cana, which is on the eastern tip of Dominican Republic on the border of Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean. It is about 3.5 hours from New York. We were there, we spent our time there for about 5 days. The weather was nice and humid. It sometimes rained.
Teena, what are some of the tourist attractions there?
The activities we did while we were there are country safari, where we saw how the people lived there. We saw how they made chocolate, tea, etc. Also, we went to a different island called Sohona Island. It is a tropical island on the southeast tip of Dominican Republic that is run by the government. They took us on a boat to get there, and we stayed on the island for a couple of hours eating the Dominican food over there. As we went back, we stopped in a natural island pool where we saw starfishes.
Do you travel a lot, Teena?
Yes, yes, I do travel.
What other places have you been to?
I've been to Hyderabad, I've been to Europe, that's pretty much it.
Which do you find most interesting? How was your trip to Hyderabad? Were you able to see the tourist attractions there?
Yes, it was really, really hot there, and yes, I saw most of the attractions.
Do you travel out to India a lot?
Not that much, just 2 years, after 2 years maybe.
Do you have family out there, Teena?
Yes, I have. My dad's brothers are there, my mom's parents are there, we have relatives there.
Do you like vacationing out in India?
Not really, it's too hot there and so many mosquitoes.
Now, Teena, if I were to give you a choice to go back in time and change something in your past, is there anything that you would like to change?
There is nothing I really want to change. All my experiences with the help of Jesus has been the most blessed in my life. I have learned from all the mistakes that I have made, and I wouldn't change anything.
Teena, where do you see yourself in the distant future?
I would finish school, pass my boards, maybe get a job, and work more for Jesus.
Now, Teena, if there was something that you'd like to change in the world today, what would that be?
In the U.S., there are many children who are suffering from bullying when they are in elementary school and middle school. They suffer a lot, and sometimes they are too afraid to tell someone. I would share the love of Jesus through my experiences, tell others about the hope and peace and love that Jesus brings. I will let them know that no matter whatever hope they lose in life, there's always hope in Jesus.
Teena, as we conclude today's show, do you have an advice for the youngsters of this generation from all the experiences that you've shared with us?
If you're thinking it is the end of your road and you are giving up on life, never give up, because if you believe in Jesus, there is nothing else you need. Everything He makes is possible. So try Jesus.
Thank you so much, Teena, for joining us on Why Jesus. We wish you the best of luck for all your future plans.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, friends, for joining us on today's episode of Why Jesus. This is Viji signing off from Word to World Studios, New York.